Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast live stream episode number 46. Number 46 as we roll on. Hey, what's going on, brother? What is going on? We have good news here at eSIM Studios. Hey, I have your cases to ship and I will ship them out. I'm gonna find, I believe I have that case. I think I have a clear case with a MagSafe charger on. I mean, a MagSafe thing. I just gotta find it. I think it's in our closet here in the guest bedroom studio room. So once we're done here, I'll immediately go pull it, and I think I have it, unless I send it to you, but I'm not sure. But I'll figure that out. But I'll get those sent off probably this evening, here in a little bit. But I do have good news, right? We have the it is the launch day of the Nothing Phone 2A, and apparently I sold a lot of them. I have some articles here with some numbers, and good news for not only for myself, but good news for everybody here in the US that wants one. Apparently you don't. Look, you can. They kind of rebranded, so you can get one under the developer program, and it was kind of unclear as to how they were going to set it up. I was under the assumption it was going to be like last year. There was not much clarity on if people here in the US wanted to buy one, but we got clarity today. Apparently, you can get one if you're in the US. Although before launch day, it appeared that they wanted you to be an app developer. So an average person that just wanted to buy one that's not an app developer before launch day. So yesterday, and it looked as if you had to sign up for the program. You had to input your app name, basically a layout of your app and what it looked like, right? So I did all that. I applied. And then today rolled around, and it appears you can just flat out just buy one without even applying for their developer program. So we purchased one, and actually purchased two on accident. So we have two coming. I wanted to get one, for sure wanted to get one. I may cancel one, I may not. They're both white, and they're both 12 gigs, 256. Now, there's not much clarity on the storage, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to order one, and I'm going to show you the kind of misinformation, right? Because look, check this out. So here's our order. So if you want to order one, it is under the developer program membership. So I guess you maybe look. I'm not sure if you have to qualify. I signed in to the website. We'll look through it here in just a second. Now, quick side note. There's not much. When I said there's not much clarity on their website as far as like, well, what's the storage variant? Because when you buy one, they come in either 8 gigs 128, and then they also come 12 gigs 256, right? You can get that in white or black. When you go to their website, and I'll put a link in the description, and we'll go through it in just a second, but when you go to their website and buy to buy one, matter of fact, let's do that right now as we're talking. When you go to buy one, right? Check this out. Well, hold up. It doesn't say. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so for the playback, I do apologize. For the people that are going to listen to the podcast and watch this later, I'll apologize. I'll try to keep everything Nice flow. So apparently, let me share the screen. So when you go to their website, here's what you get, right? So this is what you get. So you Google, check this out. So you Google Nothing Phone 2A. You come down here, you select it, right? And you come to this screen. Now, this is the black, right? And this is the white. God damn, that white looks so nice. That's the one we're getting. You can select your storage capacity, right? Now, when selecting storage capacity, you can select 12 gigs 256. This is the one that I purchased. But check this out. When you select buy now, it just takes you to this page with no storage option. The only options you get is a black or a white. Now you can get one with the case, without the case. I chose without. I chose the white version with no case, but it does not give you a storage variant. And you can buy it just like that. Now it pops up as developer program membership. And then I came across, so it's unclear as to far as if you're getting the 8 gigs 128 or are you getting the 12 gigs 256. Here's the deal. I came across this article. Let's see, where are we at? Let me share this. So I came across this article, right? And in this article, it states that if you're in the United States and you buy it on the developer program, which I just showed you, you get the 12 gig 256 storage variant for $349. That's an unbeatable price for a brand new phone. Unbeatable. If this is the case, and I'm going to take their word for it, I am going to be super excited. I was under the assumption it was just the 8 gig 128, because if those of you, or you may not remember, but I'll say if those of you remember the developer program you could purchase the Nothing Phone 1 on, only came in one storage variant, and that was the 8 gig 128. It was the like base model, and it just came in black. There was no color option or a storage option. It was a black model, 8 gigs 128. That's it. It appears with this 2A for us here in the US. If you purchase it on the developer program, you get your choice of color, and the default storage option is the 12 gigs 256, which is phenomenal. I mean, you can't beat that, honestly. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Look, if you have, I know, look, it was 8 128 black only. Yeah, that was for the phone 1, right? Yep. Because I was not going to make that mistake that I made with the phone 1. I missed out on the phone 1, and I was like, oh cool, it's available for us in the US. It was not available on launch. They only made it available like 6 months after launch. They're like, oh y'all, it's available now for people in the US about a year and a half ago. And so I was like, oh, that's cool, I'll order one. I order when I get around to it. So a month passed, 2 months passed, and I think like maybe 2 or 3 months after they launched it for the US, I was like, I'll buy one. They were sold out. It's like, damn it. So this time around, not making that same mistake, we went ahead and ordered one. Actually ordered 2. Well, actually I have 2 coming. So I don't know which one, whichever one's the 12 gig variant, I'm going to keep. So I'm either going to return the second one, or I was going to say maybe I could give it away, but I don't know. We'll have to see. If it's free, I might give it away. If I have to pay for it, I'm going to return it. You can believe that. So it depends, right? If I get it free, I'll probably do a giveaway. If I got to pay for it, I'm going to return it. But nonetheless, we got a Nothing Phone 2A on the way. Yeah, it's a beautiful. This is one of the things I love about phones, right? I don't know why. I'm weird. I don't know. And I was this way when I was younger with cars. Like when I was a teenager, I loved cars. I loved the technology of them, but I also loved the way they look. I love art. I love to create and produce stuff. I do all my own thumbnails. I want to say an artist growing up, but I was in a bunch of art programs, stuff like that, when I was a kid and in school. So I think the phone thing just, I don't know, it scratches that itch that I have for, I love the design, that falling back on my art background, but then I love the technology, right? Performance of these things, and Nothing is doing a phenomenal job at design. Their design team is crushing it. It's a very unique phone, very unique look. Nothing else looks like it. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. That's why I've always said it took the S24 Ultra for me to take my SIM card out of this phone too. And I have a feeling I'm going to switch my Google Fi line, my Google Fi. I think I'm going to, out of the S24 Plus, I think I'm going to I'm obviously going to throw that into this phone and give it a good test. Cannot wait. My only reservations with this is the processor. I think it will be okay, but I've seen some people online say that the processor is trash. Now, time out. They revamped this processor. So this processor, the CPU is about 8 or 9 months old, just under a year old, I believe, when it was initially launched to the market. It has a MediaTek 7200. Now, Nothing and MediaTek teamed up together to basically revamp this CPU. So they took the base model CPU, they took the foundation MediaTek Dimensity 7200 chip, and they basically reworked it, right? So they basically made a bunch of modifications, a bunch of tweaks specifically for the 2A. They fine-tuned the all sorts of stuff in there. There's a Nothing video that I'll also link once this live stream is done. That if you're interested, you can watch, and they talk about how they tweaked all sorts of stuff in there to make it a perfect fit for this phone. So they overclocked it. They tinkered with the GPU. Hey Daniel, what's going on, man? Good to see you today. Thank you very much, sir. So they tweaked a number of things, right, inside this. So I guess it's called, so this CPU is technically called the Dimensity 7200 Pro. So the Pro is meaning it's basically it's kind of like, well, I'm going to say similar to what they did with the Phone 2 with the Snapdragon 8 Gen Plus 1, because that chipset was already out and released, but they basically fine-tuned it and tweaked it just for this device, specifically for this device, meaning that's why I'm not worried about when we get ours if, any stuttering, any slow performance. Again, I don't game, I don't have one single game on any of my phones. I'm a heavy multitasker. So I do use a lot of RAM, but that's why our 12 gig model that we got will come in handy, right? I don't deal with anything under I don't deal with anything under 12 gigs of RAM. Now, I was going to have to basically set my little prerequisites to the side for this device. Since we are getting one, I was unaware. I was under the assumption it was the 8 gig 128, but it looks like it's the 12 gig model. So now they also do offer RAM expansion. What do they call it? RAM plus. You know, each manufacturer has a different name for it, where you can allocate I think up to 8 gigabytes of RAM from the storage to the to the RAM. It's basically add-on RAM expansion. So there is that available. So even if you do get the 8 gig 128 model, they do have RAM expansion. So I guess technically you could have 16 gigs. And if you get the 12 gig model like we got, it will should have, you know, around 20. Now, it doesn't use that unless you bump up close to it, but it is there in case you need it. But the 128 gigs is just it's just not enough these days. So I'm glad we're getting the 256 gig. I mean, look how beautiful that is. I mean, it's a really, really nice looking phone. Now, one thing I love that they did not do on the Phone 2. So on the Phone 2, they have, you see how, obviously it's the light model, right? But you see on the sides how it's like a brushed aluminum. It's like a silver color. So you got the white on the back, and you got the silver around the sides. Look at this Phone 2A. They basically made it white all the way around, which looks phenomenal. It makes that much of a difference. Looks beautiful. I mean, it's a really, really nice looking phone. So I'm very excited we're getting one. I'm ecstatic, actually. I'm not excited. I'm ecstatic. So, one thing we will test for sure, if you're interested, but you're, you know, kind of hesitant on purchasing the device because of the carriers. This does not support 100%. This is not a fully unlocked, well, it is technically a fully unlocked phone, but supporting the bands, supporting the carriers here in the US. We'll obviously test that, right, when we get ours. We went over the bands, the frequencies that the modem in this, the modem that's in this MediaTek chip supports, and I believe it supports. It does support all three major U.S. carriers: AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, and all of the MVNOs underneath the carrier umbrella, right? Except, so T-Mobile is missing, I think out of 4 or 5, there's 3 or 4 major 5G T-Mobile bands or frequencies that a typical device will pick up. I believe this Nothing Phone 2A has 3 out of the 4 available, so it's only missing 1 5G band for T-Mobile. I believe it's missing 2 for AT&T. So I think 1 or 2 are available for AT&T. Maybe it was just 1 is available for AT&T. That's what it was. Now with Verizon, if you have Verizon, if I had Verizon, that would really make me second guess maybe getting this, because it does support 4G. You can get 4G LTE with this device, but it does not get 5G coverage if you're on Verizon or any carrier under Verizon. So if you have like Visible, who else is a MVNO for Verizon? There's another one that starts with a V. Visible and something else. Let me look up the 4G bands. Let's do that real quick. Excuse me, the 5G bands. All right, so network. So we'll pull up this list, and then let's go to whoops. All right, so let's see what I believe it. Well, this is 2022. No, I need a current. Man, a lot has changed in 3 years. Let's do a more updated list. Let's see. I think this one's the updated list. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is the one we pulled up the other day. So this is Verizon. So let's see. Verizon has banned okay, so Verizon has these bans. I don't have a sheet of paper. Let's see. So this will have, I have the nothing phone frequencies pulled up on my other screen here. So let's see. Let's start out with the lowest one. So band N2, N5, N66. So it does support band 5, which is a 4G band. It does support band 66, which is another 4G frequency. So it supports 2 Verizon 4G LTE frequency bands. Now let's bump up to 5G. And N77. See here on the frequency, the 5G bands, look. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up. You see where it says we're under Verizon, right? We're looking at Verizon. AT&T is below, but right now Verizon N77. You see that? It's the mid-band. This one right here. It does support this one because look, mid-band sub 6. So look, N77 right there for Verizon. Watch this. 5G bands. N77. So it supports 1 5G band on Verizon, and it supports 2 4G LTE bands for Verizon. Now, AT&T. AT&T's got, let's see, N5 and N77. Okay, so it supports. Now, is that a? Let's see, is that a 5G? 850. Oh, see that 850. So for AT&T, it does support 77 5G 77 band on AT&T, but this N5, I didn't know if it was LTE N5 or 5G N5, because on the Nothing phone 2A, it's got under 4G LTE, it's got band 5 on LTE and band 5 on 5G. But up here it says it's still relying on AT&T is still relying on old 850 megahertz frequency band to offer low band 5G. Okay, so it will support 2 AT&T 5G bands. So Verizon gets 1 5G band, 2 LTE bands, and AT&T gets 2 5G bands. Now, Sprint and T-Mobile obviously merged, so we'll get N41 here for T-Mobile. I mean, excuse me, for Sprint, but T-Mobile has acquired that. And then you got these. Yeah, I got T-Mobile. Good thing. Google Fi uses T-Mobile. So if you got Google Fi, that's a good low-cost option. go with the Nothing Phone 2A straight from Nothing, because you get the 12 gig 256 storage variant for only $349, and you get service for $20 a month. Look at all these bands. I know it'll get all the, or most of these, right? Let's see. So we got, and use our, if that interests you, use our link in the description box. Google Fi is a sponsor of the show. N41, where's my mouse? N41. Okay, so I know it got N41. Yep. N41. Now that's 4G here. They have a 4G N41, but this one will get the 5G. So we get, that's one. Now I don't know if it picks up these 260. Here's my question. I'm not sure I'm familiar with the millimeter wave here. N and 260 and N261. Because it doesn't say anything about in the 200s of up here, does it? Well, we'll get interesting. Well, I will, once we get the phone, I will do a breakdown, a review of all the bands, each band that's covered. There's some really good applications you can download that tells you specifically what band you're on, what frequency you're on, your signal strength. So I'll download all that stuff. Trust me, when we get it in, I'm going to do a ton of testing on that, because look, if the processor checks out fine, no issues there, that's a go. The phone is a go. It is relatively cheap. It looks beautiful. To obviously test the cameras. I do have confidence in Nothing with the cameras. Now, look, it's supposedly the same sensor that's in the phone 2. And the phone 2 cameras have drastically increased since launch, but I'll do that. I'm gonna make all sorts of videos testing cameras, all sorts of stuff, right? Frequencies, service, cell service. So whenever we get the device in, I'll make a dedicated video just to cell service and carrier services and all that stuff, so everybody can know if their carrier supports it, right? Because look, these things might go quick. I know today was the launch day, but look at this. They've sold a ton of them. Now, a lot of this, this is the, hang on, this is the update. Nothing already put out an update for it. And at this price, check this out. So Nothing, I guess they released this on a Twitter, on a Twitter post. Nothing sold 60,000 units in 1 hour. Now, you got to remember, this is basically a startup company. This is not Samsung. This is not Apple, obviously. But those are good numbers. Now, a large majority of those, I guarantee you, are in India and probably in Europe, right? That's where they're manufacturing them. Actually, I believe that's where mine is shipping from. Is in India. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, but it's pretty good, right? Pretty good sales numbers. Now, just wait. Are there any videos out on it? I haven't even been on YouTube today. I'm sure there. Oh, wait. I think Flossy Carter has a review of it. I'm sure all the big YouTube tech channels have already had the device and recorded their unboxings and first impression videos. But look, we haven't gotten there yet. We're getting ours, but it's not before the launch date. So these numbers are pretty good. These numbers are pretty good for a startup company, and that's just in the first hour. It's not even first day sales. Be interesting to see. Probably this time tomorrow we'll get some more numbers and or first week sales, first month sales as time goes on. I think these numbers are going to be pretty good. Again, you cannot beat this at the price, especially in the US. You can get this device 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage for $349. It's a pretty damn good deal, in my opinion. And then look, it's great if you want to try something different. If you're an iPhone user and you want to jump into Android, this might be the phone to get to see if you can deal with Android, right? If you're an iPhone user, or if you're already an Android user, if you're tired of Samsung, if you like Pixel, but there's not really any other phone on the market that you can go to, because I know you're definitely not going to OnePlus. If you're a Pixel user, you definitely probably not going to go to Samsung. There seems to be a pretty good divide there between most people, most Pixel users. But I did do a video. I uploaded a video a couple months ago explaining to everybody what a good option the Nothing Phone 2 is, or I guess you could say what a good alternative the Nothing Phone 2 is to the Pixel 8 Pro. Similar size, similar body, great looks, outstanding performance between the two. Camera is much better. Look, Pixel's a clear winner on the cameras, but as I mentioned in the video, Nothing has devoted a ton of time to updating and tweaking these sensors in this camera. They're really good now. But you can get the operating system to look and feel just like a Pixel. You don't have to have the robotic dot matrix type look of operating system that you're used to seeing with Nothing on their ads and in these video reviews. I have my phone 2 set up to look just like stock Android, or to set up to look just like the Pixel software. So it is a good alternative, and it's a cheap price, right? You're not breaking the bank to make a switch. $349. And look, this is not a flagship, I want to say experience. It's not a flagship device hardware-wise, but I think you're going to get a flagship-like usability. And when I say that, I mean like overall feel. How do you feel about the device? Overall usage. I think you're going to be happy. I think you're going to be really happy. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know. I want to be excited. I want to be happy about this device. But that's why we're getting one in to test it out. But there isn't a day one update available for your Nothing Phone 2A if you ordered it. So as soon as you get it, the Nothing OS 2.5.3 is now available for download and install on your phone 2A. So what does that improve? With improved camera performance, well, like I mentioned, right? They drastically improved the cameras, smoother operation, and handy new widgets. What do you know? Wow, look how cheap those prices are. Now, I know those are UK, but still pretty good. Okay. So if you got any questions, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. As far as ordering one, as far as the carrier services, how it will interact with your carrier, ordering it, what is the developer program? Maybe we'll hit that real quick. Developer program. So again, my one thing that I was kind of down on today was the clarity from Nothing. Now, I can't really blame them because they're not officially selling this in the US, but they kind of are, because as I mentioned, some of y'all might have missed it in my opening. We got one And before launch day today, it looked like you had to apply for their developer program, quote unquote, to get one here in the US. Meaning they are you an app developer? What app are you developing? Please send us a screenshot. Tell us what your app, you had to like basically apply for this. And then today rolled around and it's basically as easy as just clicking what color you want and go purchase it. There is no process you got to go through or certification you have to go through or nothing. You just hit what color you want and buy, and that's it. So now again, it did not say what storage variant you were going to get. So I didn't know if it was going to be the 8 128 or 12 256. It appears it's going to be the 12 256 for $349. So you just choose your black color or white color in the US, and that's it. Now, what I'm interested to see is it going to have beta software? That's the big question. When the phone 1 was available for us here in the United States, it was available on the developer program, like this phone 2A. Now, the phone 1, all phones shipped to buyers in the US on the developer program came with beta software, right? Came with a developer software. So they basically used everybody in the US as a big testing pool, right, for their software. Nowhere in the fine print, nowhere online could I find where it said this is going to be running beta software. Nowhere. And there was all sorts of that. There was a big disclaimer when you tried to order the phone 1 on the developer program. They made sure you knew that it was going to come with beta software, right? And I could probably install stock firmware, but the average person's probably not going to know how to do that. But nowhere in the fine print, nowhere on their website, not even on third-party websites, on tech news websites, nobody has said anything about beta software for people in the US. So I'll be interested to see. That'll be one of the first things I check once we get ours. Is it on beta software? Is it not on beta software? I have no idea. I am probably going to leave it there, even if it is on beta software, just because I usually enroll all my devices in beta programs. But so we'll see. We will see. Now, I don't have a delivery date, but believe it should be, I think it said 5 to 7 days. So hopefully by the end of the week, definitely by this time next week. We'll just say the weekend. I'll shoot for the weekend. Hopefully by the weekend, we'll have it and we will get going. So, okay. So that'll do it for the 2A. Took up a large portion of our show today, but that's the big news for the day, right? Let's see. The only thing that is not good is that it's UFS 2.2, not 3.1 or 4.4. They're interesting. And that's one of the things we mentioned a few weeks ago with them having to cut costs, because we were comparing the phone 2 and the phone 2A, right? Like with the Pixel series and then their A series. Pretty similar. Well, I guess there's more of a difference in the A series for Google. Maybe not so much now for the 8A. But they got to cut costs somewhere, right? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it performs with the UFS storage. That's what I was thinking, because if the screen is going to be the same, if the camera sensors are going to be the same, well, I guess the display, it's not going to be LTPO, but it's going to be a 6.7-inch AMOLED full 1080p plus display. Camera sensors are the same. It's going to have many of the similarities. Now, I don't believe this has wireless charging, but I don't use wireless charging, so I don't care. There's a there. I bet there are. I haven't been on YouTube today. I've been yeah, I just haven't, but I will later, and check out some of the videos. What color do most of the reviewers have? Do they have white or do they have black? Since you said the magic word pixel, still waiting on that March update, hopefully soon. Damn, you're still waiting on the March update? Oh, do you have a carrier pixel? Because I hit on that news report, or I guess that news yesterday, that carriers just started rolling out their March update. Was it yesterday? So you should see it, I'm assuming, in the next day or so. If you have a unlocked pixel, yeah, I have no idea. You should have seen that already. There's something about Nothing OS when you use it. It's probably the best OS I've used on a cell phone when I've had my Nothing Phone 1. Just gives you a certain feeling. Definitely the smoothest. Yes, it takes me back. I agree. It takes me back to the OnePlus days. The OnePlus days when OnePlus was OnePlus. Before the, I guess, was it before the Oppo acquisition or before they switched to the Color OS? Man, I was all in on OnePlus. And then it seemed like, what was it? They did, I think that had to have been right around when Oppo acquired them, or they switched to a Color OS. So I think that was around like the OnePlus 8 or 8T. I think 8T was that first one. When I opened the box and started, in the very first day I got the 8T, I was like, something's kind of different with this. But yeah, like around the OnePlus 6T, OnePlus 7. Damn, I love that phone. Yeah, very, very smooth, buttery smooth. Absolutely love it. It does remind me of that. I just think they probably said that so they wouldn't get in trouble, but it worked just fine. Probably. That's what I was thinking too. I think it'd be fine. Robin, can you take your Galaxy S24 Ultra to the most creepy ass hallways of Liquor Cats? Probably could. I don't know if I want to do that though, but yeah, I could. 60 to 100 adaptive refresh rate. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, they have white. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I have Pixel 8 Pro running on T-Mobile. You should see it. You should see it, I'm assuming, in today, tomorrow at the latest. I know T-Mobile rolls out updates for their, I think, Pixels over 3 or 4 days. So it started yesterday. So yeah, it should be here pretty soon. Mine is also unlocked, Pixel 8 Pro, and I got the update like straight away. Yeah, so that's why it's odd. Yeah, I know that's one of the downsides of getting a carrier phone, is that they actually get the update first. They decompile the code and implement all their bloatware and carrier services, and they recompile it, and then they issue it out. So that's what takes a few extra days. Can I touch your Galaxy S24 Ultra in a Titan Gray if I went to your house? Probably not. Can you throw pizza on your S24 Ultra when you're recording a video and slap it with your pizza? Sure, but why would I want to do that? Okay. Now, Robin, speaking of S24, you want some S24 news? Or Samsung news? How about that? Let's do it. So, here's your S24 news, Robin. Galaxy S24 sales soar. So you can slap your pizza with this news, right? Hot off the press pizza, hot off the press news. The S24 is outselling the S23. Yes. Excuse me. So we got some sales news. In the S24 sales increased by 14% in the United States compared to sales of the S23 in the same amount of time, which is very good news if you're Samsung. I know they broke sales records. Now, this was in South Korea, but they broke sales records there for the S24 series. Now, I knew this was probably going to be the case due to the update cycle. As we mentioned, the update cycle typically is, it was like 3 years, something like that. And here in the US, a lot of it is 2 years, right? Because of these carriers have a 2-year upgrade cycle. When you go in and get a device, you get it financed. It's basically, I think there's some variation as far as time, but I think large majority of the options are 24 months, 2 years. I think some even do 36 months, which is 3 years. But the sales of the S22 were pretty big. And then you roll into the sales for the S23. They were not as good as the S22. Now, knowing that, I knew that rolling into the S24 series would be 24 months, 2 years. That's right around the upgrade cycle, the refresh cycle, at least here in the States, right? So I knew the numbers for the S24 were going to be pretty good because people would know that it's getting released. The carriers would say, hey, you're due for an upgrade. Look at this shiny new S24 we got, right? And that's exactly what happened. So this is not that big of a surprise to me. Plus, it's a great device. These are phenomenal phones. They're very, very, very good looking. They perform wonderfully. Software is outstanding. So I knew this was going to sell good anyways, right? But to see this on paper, to see this come out official, it's good to hear. It's good to see. So, speaking of Samsung, check this out. If you have an S23 or an S22, you're actually viewing this technically on an S22 S22. I have a base S22 that I use as a webcam. It works perfect. March updates out. So they not only pushed it out for the S24 series just a few days ago, but also the S23 series. And yesterday we got news that the S22 series in the US is getting updated to the March security patch. Now, One UI 6.1 is probably not going to be available, I believe, until later March. Okay, so that's probably going to be rolling into the April update. Users of the S23 series should see One UI 6.1, which incorporates some of the AI stuff that they incorporated with the S24 series. I put it in quotes because is it really AI? I don't know. So I guess technically, well, it may or may not be, depending on who you ask, right? But you will see many of those features found in the S24 series coming to the S23 series next month. This time next month. Now, when will it be coming to the S22 series? Probably a month or two after that. So you're looking at like May or June. The S21 series, probably looking at I don't know, mid to late summer, August, July. They do that because they want to give people that have the newer or newest devices, they kind of roll out in waves. So the older of device that you have, you'll get it a month or two later, right? Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so there's people on Reddit that are claiming to show screenshots of their S23 downloading the March security patch, which is 400 megabytes in size. not too big. I don't think it has a bunch of features. Again, that's probably saved for next month. I think this one just has security patches and bug fixes, right? Give me just 1 second. Hang on 1 second. All right. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Even Robin. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let's see. Apple. One last thing here on the docket. So we mentioned here, right, that the EU has pushed a ton of changes, right, when it comes to Apple. A bunch of changes when it comes to them, how the user basically uses their phone. So for example, the EU initiated the change to a USB Type-C plug in the iPhone. In this, the European Union also initiated they basically presented to Apple sort of like not a monopoly case, but they basically told Apple, look, if you want to conduct business, if you want to continue to sell your products here in these Europe countries, you're going to have to make some changes. And one of them was Type-C. That's why Apple changed to Type-C. Now, one of them was also a multiple app stores, right? So they were saying, well, you can sideload on Android. You can get apps from the Play Store, but you can also get apps from a third-party store and download and install them on any Android device. Europe basically told Apple, you need to implement the same thing, or you can't sell your iPhones here in Europe. So Apple, not wanting to miss out on the massive amount of sales that they would have lost, right, if they could not sell their phones in Europe, made it available for people in Europe to download and install iOS apps from a third party. Now, little stipulation, obviously cannot do that here in the US. It's basically a geo-fence is how Apple is conducting this. And I say that, and this is the news for today, because Apple, starting today, if you're in Europe and you're using an iPhone, you can download apps from multiple third-party app sites and install them on your iPhone. Now, it will only work in Europe. And I say geo-fencing because they basically put a digital fence around Europe, around the countries in Europe. So the iPhone will know if you're in Europe. And if you are in Europe, you will have the availability to download and install a third-party application outside of the Apple App Store. Now, what happens? Let's say you're traveling. So what happens if let's say I go to Germany, a trip to Germany, right? Like the Chiefs played a game in Germany this year in football. What if I went to the Chiefs game in Germany and had an iPhone, but I had to fly back here to the States after the game on Monday? Well, in the future, because obviously it wasn't available a few months ago, but in the future, you can fly to Germany. The phone will know you're in that geofence. The phone will know you're in Europe. It will activate and or let you activate and or install a third-party application. I don't think I have a list of the official app stores, third-party app stores. I'm sure you can Google it. Let's see. Is there a list of third-party app stores? I'm sure there is. Look, we do have a number of people in Europe watching and listening to this. So if this does incorporate you, I might go back and include, I might do this when we're offline, find some third-party app stores. Now, I don't endorse them. I've obviously never used them, so please use them at your own discretion. But if you're in Europe, you can download and install an application for use in Europe. Now, going back to my example, what if you're in Germany, you download, install a third-party app now and use it. Now, what if you fly back to the United States where they don't allow that? Well, that app will become useless. It'll basically go into, it won't uninstall it when you get back to the US, but it'll basically freeze the app to where you cannot open it. It'll show up in your app drawer and in your settings as an installed app, but it will not let you open the application. So you're basically forced to uninstall it, right? And they do that because they don't want you using any third-party apps. So very interesting, but it is what it is. Hopefully who knows if and when they will ever allow third-party applications to be used elsewhere here in the United States, or in Australia or Japan. Who knows, right? But interesting to see what else Europe and or the EU has up its sleeves when it comes to the iPhone, right? And kind of strong-arming them into doing things. It's interesting that they can do that so, not to say so easily, but the US has never strong-armed Apple into anything. I don't think. Not that I can remember. But that will do it. I gotta run. It's almost 7 o'clock again. This time change, man, messing me up big time. It's way later than I thought, but I will catch y'all tomorrow. I got some videos I'm editing, some videos I'm going to upload. Oh yes, we got anybody? Raycon, thank you for reminding me. Do we just have you? Do we just have you in the I think Daniel left. Who else is in? I gotta have like at least 3 people. The giveaway. Thank you for reminding me. Put hashtag Raycon in the YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram and you want to win Raycon earbuds, I gotta have more than like a few people, like at least 3 people enter, and we'll do it. So if you want to win Raycon everyday earbuds, we will run the giveaway right now. Put hashtag Raycon. Thank you for reminding me. Just like this right here, hashtag Raycon in the YouTube chat. If you're watching this on Instagram, the only way to enter to win is on YouTube. StreamYard has not implemented the giveaway feature yet for streaming on Instagram, but I believe they will be here soon. So if you want to enter, go ahead. It's you and Auntie. Let's go ahead and do it. Hey, it's your lucky day. I said giveaway today, and that's what we're gonna do. So y'all got a good chance. 50-50 shot. So I'll give everybody a few more seconds. Looks like most everybody left already. When I said we're done, I think people left. Okay. Well, I guess y'all are the lucky few. So let me go ahead and get this going. So if there's anybody on Instagram, I'll give you a few more seconds. Come over to YouTube and enter hashtag Raycon. Just like you see on the screen, on my screen, and the comment. RAYCON. Let me grab them. All right. Right there. Right there. Whoops. There we go. Everyday earbuds. These were review units. I since cleaned them up. Rubbing alcohol. Put all the packaging back and all that good stuff. They're actually really nice earbuds. I think their retail value is like $89, I believe. 89, something like that. So pretty good earbuds, right? USB Type-C charging and wireless charging. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. Everybody enter. I'll give you a few more seconds. Looks like we did pick up a couple more viewers. Enter hashtag Raycon in the YouTube chat section if you would like to win these. If you're on Instagram, go over to YouTube. Actually, our link is in the bio for this YouTube channel, eSIM Studios. You can go to YouTube and just search eSIM Studios and we'll pop right up. Or the link is in our Instagram bio. All right, let's go. Ready? All right, congratulations to you, sir. I will get those out with your cases. So please, I'll get with you. I'm going to end this right now and I'll message you here in just a second. And I'll package everything up all together. Sounds like a good deal. Auntie, join us tomorrow. What else do I have to give away? I got a lot of stuff to give away. So join me tomorrow. I'll do another giveaway tomorrow. So join me tomorrow, and I'll put a community post out tomorrow morning to let everybody know what we will be giving away. So congratulations to you, sir. I will get with you soon. thank you for joining us. I do appreciate the time. And as always, I will see you tomorrow. This is eSIM Studios podcast episode number 46. Peace out.